The greenhouse is teeming with life. There are some items in here that I can take in up pot. This is a castor bean. I can get that out. It's gotten really big. Those get very large. I've got some callaloo over here. I'm going to leave that in. I might take that out. I've got melon. I moved one of my melons in this pot here and accidentally bent that stem, so I'm kicking myself. I'm going to take the melons and put them in their prospective growth space so that they can get larger and I don't have to worry about them in here. I have some flowers, some beautiful, what do you call those, coleuses? Some with red, some are all green. I need to get those in their pots so that they can start growing. I've got some pots that I need to put those in. I'm hoping I may need to move those pots when I transplant them because they have not been getting full sun. So they've only been getting dappled sun and what's coming through the door. So I'm hoping that if I put them outside, they're not going to die due to the full sun, but I may need to cover them up for a little while. This is the lamb's ear. It's looking really, really good. It's getting big. I need to get this out into the garden so it can actually put on its full growth because it needs more room to spread out. So I'm going to be in the garden today moving some of this out of here and making room for new stuff because I have some stuff in the kitchen on the counter that I need to transplant and bring out here. Now I want to show you guys this. I thought this died. This is a butterfly plant, and I thought it died, but no, it has decided it wants to live. So I am going to leave that there, let that get a little bit of growth on it. I need to get these out in the garden, but the problem is the fence is not up yet. In about 2 more weeks, the fence will be up. So I just need to stop. Well, I watered them and they feel like they need a little bit more water. When the pots are light, that means your plants need more water. So I'm going to water them again. I've just been giving them a little bit of water here or there. So I'm going to water their basin and let them draw up some water. I need to check the mulberry. Uh, that might have been a thing. So I need to check that. And I've been taking cuttings. This is a peony cutting and it's looking really, really good. I don't know if you all can see that. It's been in here for about a week. Hasn't had any die off, so I'm excited about it. I think this is stevia. I don't know now. I've been moving things around, getting them out of here. So I've got work to do, so let me get at it. I was wrong. There is still green on the mulberry, so fingers crossed that it does what it needs to do. I mentioned in a previous video that there was too much water in the reservoir down there. I poured the excess water off. I just spritz the inside of the bag. The soil is moist. I'm going to leave it alone. All I need is one. That's all I need. So we're going to leave it alone, and I'm not going to overlove it by giving it too much water because I tend to do that. These could stand to be probably in their pots a little while longer, but I don't want them in the greenhouse anymore. I am trying to move things out of the greenhouse so that I am not splitting so much of my time. My garden is really large. It's getting larger by the day, and I'm constantly splitting my time between all the gardens. I've got gardens literally everywhere around my house, all sides. There's garden and on all sides of my home. And so I'm splitting my time regularly trying to take care of them. And I'm ready to get these in the ground. Now I can see I've got worms in here. So I'm going to try not to disrupt too much. They're going to be disrupted because they're where I need to be. So let's see. I may need to move them, kick them out for a little while. I love seeing worms in my containers. Yeah, it's teeming with life. Lots of worms. Yep, lots and lots of worms. So I'm just kind of kicking them out the way a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to place these melons. These are what the packet called Delicious Melons. These were melons I think that either my mom or my sister bought this melon last year from the store. I think from Costco. And my sister gave me seeds and says, "Here, try to grow this." So here we are. Oh, there's tons and tons of worms in here. Oh my goodness. I hope I'm not killing anybody. But they are everywhere, y'all. I move the soil and I see more and more pop out. So let's see what I can do. I've already made a mess of one of my watermelon seedlings as I was moving these. So I'm going to try not to harm anything else. That was not my intention this morning. There we go. There we go. Just going to plop it in like that. Just kind of push it down so that those roots get contact with the existing soil. I'm not going to fuss with them too much. I'm just going to put the soil that's in the pot over top and call it a day. And I have a permanent tag in here. Let me see. It's over here on the side. Y'all probably can't see it. I'll be cleaning this up and because I'm not putting noodle beans or scarlet runner beans in here this year. I'll be cleaning this up and writing on here what I have put. I have shallots in here and I have the delicious melons. So I'll be taking this and transposing it onto that. That way I can remember what's what. And I'm really hoping to get some melons this year. I did get some melons last year, but they were small. Um, I was the only one who actually had a chance to taste them because they were really, really tiny. Not much to talk about. I'm trying to seat this in here without harming anything. There we go. So that they can have contact with the soil. Now I'm going to push the existing soil, like I said, back over top. I hope you all can see. I will firm it around, not too hard, because like I said, I have worms in here. I'm just going to, just so that it stands up a little bit. And these shallots are in the way. They're trying to say, welcome, welcome. There we go. There we go. Now I'm going to take this mulch and move the mulch back. This soil, I just watered everything and everything is nice and moist. I'm just going to leave it here. It's overcast today, so I'm hoping that that was a good idea to put those in. So I'm hoping now they will take off and grow up the cattle panel. And that, my friends and family, are my delicious melons. And I want to say delicious is more like honeydew. So we'll see. I didn't get to taste these. They had eaten them all. But my sister gave me the seeds, so hopefully I get to have some to taste myself. I have 5 that I just planted in, 3 over here and 2 over here. So I'm hoping that they'll grow up onto the cattle panel and I'll get some melons. So let's go into the greenhouse and see if there's anything else that I want to bring out and put in the pot adjacent to this one. I took some toilets out of my house and replaced them with some chair height um, handicap accessible toilets. And so I wasn't able to sell them for the price that I wanted. So I decided I'm going to use them as planters. I may eventually paint them. I just moved them 2 days ago. So all I did was just place them where I wanted them. And in this one, I'm going to put my melons. I had placed melons in the ground about a month ago, and they were completely eaten to the ground. I believe either by the rats or caterpillars, and I have been spraying since then because I have been seeing caterpillars. So I'm going to put the watermelon in here. I'm not going to put them in the ground. As I mentioned, as I was trying to move the pots around in the greenhouse, I accidentally bent that one. I don't know if it will continue to grow or if it will die, but I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to place it in this container and I will need to water this. I just spritzed it a little bit with some water, not a lot, but I will need to water this in. Now, I made a hugelkultur method in here. So there are leaves, there are twigs, and bagged compost, bagged soil. So I'm just going to make a hole in the middle. And these are mixed watermelon. They're orange, they're yellow, and I think that's all, orange and yellow. So I am going to tip these out as gently as I can. And I'm not going to hold it up too high. I'm just going to squeeze the pot and let them fall into the soil like that, because I don't want to bend or break anything else. I was really upset about that. And I know you all probably can't see, so let me see if I can move you all a little bit closer. Can you all see the nice root system right here? So it has nice root system. So I'm just going to get this seeded in. I'm going to let them trail that way. Over here is the tree orchard. So they're going to trail behind the tree orchard. I was out this morning yet again, digging up stuff that's coming from the neighbor's area up under the fence. So I've cleared everything so far. There isn't any more weeds popping up. I've placed cardboard and wood chip down to kind of smother out. But yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. Trying to figure out a way. I'm gonna turn this over so that the broken one is actually laying on the soil and those roots on that side are touching the soil. So I'm just gonna do it like this, kind of shift them a little bit. Hopefully I'm not hurting anything. And I'm gonna take the soil and just kind of mound it over like that and give it a nice press. Nothing too damaging, nothing too hard. Just give it a little press like that. And then I'm gonna go get some wood chip. And there's a tiny bitty baby one in here that looks a lot worse for the wear. I'm trying to shift these around just to kind of allow it a chance to get a little bit bigger. These have their true leaves on them. This is not working out for me this morning. They're all intertwined. That's one of the reasons why people say you should cut your seedlings and only allow the strongest ones to survive, thin them out. I don't prescribe to that. I don't like the idea of thinning out, because that could be something that could grow and I could use it. So I just don't. All right, I'm going to go get some wood chip, and I'm going to put wood chip on here. I'm going to water this in first, get it nice and watered in. Then I'm going to put some wood chip on there. So let me go do that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to also get some liquid fertilizer, and I'm going to give this a punch of liquid fertilizer, which is just my goop juice that I make myself, and then some water from the water barrels, rainwater, and then wood chips. I'll be right back. I have watered in the delicious melons. This is nothing more than goop juice, a mixture of weeds and molasses and you name it, everything is in here. So and rainwater. So I'm just watering this in, getting this nice and moist, giving those roots a chance to have some nutrition. And now I'm going to put some wood chip on top of there and call it done. I just remembered I used the last 4 bags of my wood chip, laying wood chip along this fence line. This is where my neighbor's yard is with the 4-foot tall weeds. I put cardboard down to suppress the stuff that's trying to grow up under the fence. But I need to go to the store and get some more wood chip because I am all out. And if you don't believe that the weeds are as tall as I say, there's the fence and there are the weeds that are as taller now than the fence. And so that goes along the entire length of the fence. As I go down here where I just planted my watermelon, you can see that they are over the fence now. And I am desperately trying to prevent all the things that have been or possibly coming from that. These are a combination of plants, but for the most part, what you see is a sweet William that is more white and fuchsia than the all fuchsia. And so I'm going to be taking some of these out of here and I'm going to place them in the back of the garden. And I'm going to show you where in just a moment. This is where my compost is. I placed the other toilet and I'm going to plant this up with flowers. So something perennial, something that can grow wide and spill over, and of course also something that's going to grow tall. So right now I'm going to put the wide and spillover plant, which is a sweet William that I just pulled from the other pot. So let's get started. This will need to be watered in, and I have a bait over here in the corner that has been tipped over, so I'm going to tip it back and place it back where it belongs. So I blocked the corner behind the toilet back there. It's blocked. So nothing should be able to squeeze its way through that. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. All right. This soil will also need to be watered. I did the same thing I did with the other toilet. I made a hugelkultur method. There are twigs and sticks in the bottom. There are leaves and then there is store-bought compost. So what I'm going to do is I have a few plants. I'm going to place probably 4 of them in here, one in the front, 2 on the sides, and 1 in the back. Let's see. This is what they look like. They look like a mangled massive mess right now because that's just kind of how Sweet Williams look. I'm going to put a couple of them in here. I'm going to take a few of them towards the front of the house as well. Let's see. All right, I think that's 4. As you can see, if you can tell, they put out a lot along the whole stem of the plant. So they continuously push out new flowers. So I'm just going to place a hole and stick the root in, cover it up just like that. Hopefully it will bush and cover this entire seat. All of this will be covered and you won't see it. I'm going to place this one right here. If I can get a hole made without it covering back over on itself, just like that. And same with this one. Move that soil over a little bit so that doesn't fall into the ground. And I'm going to place it in the hole like that. I am going to cover up those lower leaves. I'm not concerned about that. And then last but not least, I'm going to take this one and put it in the back. And I will be putting something that's going to grow tall in the center. I don't know quite what that is at this moment in time, but I will be putting something that's going to grow tall in the center, and that way this will cover up all of here. You won't see it, and something tall will grow up. I may have something over in the corner over here. Let's take a look at this pot and see what's over here. Over here, I have herbs growing, and some things are growing, some things are not. So what's not growing, I am going to take those and place them in the greenhouse and repurpose the soil, or maybe just sow more seeds of what I had placed in here. It's kind of hard for me to see. There's a tiny little bit of a green something coming up in there. This was English thyme. That could still be English thyme. This is marshmallow. I already know that's marshmallow. I've got to pot that up in its permanent home. This was a mystery that I'm not quite sure what that is. It was a mystery herb. I'm going to leave that. I need to put it somewhere, but I don't know what it is because I don't know what they sent me. Nothing in there, nothing in there. Looks like nothing in there. So I'm going to take these pots that don't have anything in them, and I am going to move them in the greenhouse and repurpose the soil. The pots that do have something in them, I'm also going to take them in the greenhouse and put them on top of the bench so that I know to put them somewhere in the garden. Now over here, I don't see anything. Don't see anything. This is a safflower. I know where this one's going to go. So I'm just going to take all of these that don't have anything growing and put them. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. What's this? This is self-heal in this pot. This one does have two tiny little bitty, can you guys see that? Little bitty seedlings in there. So I need to move this one into the greenhouse so that I can keep an eye on it and water it the way it needs to. But everything else that doesn't have anything in there, and that these have been getting watered. They also have been getting rainwater, but they just didn't do well. So I'm going to move them. So this is a safflower. I already have safflower over in this area. Let me take you over here. I put safflower right here in this container. This is the longevity spinach. I wanted to have a little color in the front, so I'm going to put this safflower in here as well. I'm just going to place it in the pot right there for right now, and I'll probably put it right here next to the safflower because all of this is longevity spinach. And as you can see, it's growing nicely. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. The English daisy, it cannot take scorching, so it needs to be full sun, partial shade. It's going to go in the cut flower garden because, like I said, it looks terrible right now. It gotten too much sun. So I brought it inside the greenhouse. So I'm going to find something else to put in that pot. Let's see what else I have. Since I don't have any more flowers to plant at the moment, I'm going to put in this castor bean plant. This is where I planted 4 seeds in the ground. And as you can see, only one has come up. It could be the others are just slow. I don't think so. I did the exact same process I did with the others in this pot right here. Which is I soaked the seed, which is what's recommended, and I put them in the pot, gave them some soil, and let them do what they do. And so far, only one has come up. And again, I did the same thing I did with these. These two have true leaves. They are ready to get in the ground. These two are just opening up. They have their condyletan leaves, but I'm going to get them in the ground as well. I'm trying to clear out my greenhouse, and I want to move some things around. So I'm going to take the tag out. The concrete layers got concrete everywhere. So I've got concrete splatters all over the place. I'm not going to worry about that today, but I am going to move the wood chip back. I'm not going to plant over here, which is where I believe I planted those other seeds. And I'm just going to place these babies right here. There's a worm. Hello, worm. There is a compost worm sitting down there. He's very purple. That's how I know he's a compost worm and not one of the natives. There weren't any signs of life before I started bringing the wood chip in and putting my composting worms everywhere. And so my belief is that is a composting worm. So I'm going to dump him back in the soil just like that, so that he can continue to feed. If I go any further than what I have already dug, I get into this clay, which is what, this is a clay sand mixture, which is what this entire backyard consists of. It does not have very good soil. So I really should put some fertilizer in this hole just to give it a more of a fighting chance. So let me go in the house and grab some fertilizer. I'm just going to grab some azomite rock dust, maybe some bone meal, blood meal, maybe some chicken manure, and just throw all those things in this hole. So I will be right back. I went inside, got some bone meal, blood meal, azomite rock dust, chicken manure, and some Osmocote, which is a slow release fertilizer. So I'm just going to place it in the hole like that. Just mush it around a little bit. Okay. I'm going to have to excavate some of this guess it's not going to fit in here otherwise. I could mount it up. Now I have something else growing in here that I don't want in this area because I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm going to try to lightly take out just, and I don't know if you all can see those two little bitty babies right there. I have no idea what those are. I reused the soil, so it could be anything. So I'm going to try to get these out without too much damage, without any damage. Let's see. Oh, they've got a really beautiful root system. Look at that. Can you guys see that? How gorgeous that is? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I am going to shift this a little bit like that. Get it in there like that. I'm going to take these two little babies off the top. Just plop them in there. Hopefully that doesn't kill them. But I'm going to take them off the top. This one doesn't seem to want to dislodge. Come on. Here we go. And I'm just going to get them backfill with the native soil like so. And then try and push them down without doing any damage. And then put the wood chip back so that they stay nice and moist. I'm going to take my plant stake and I'm going to place my plant stake right here on this side of it. There we go. And then this is my, oh, I got a worm sticking up. Let me put him back in the ground, get him up under the soil. Get down there, Mr. Worm. Let me just move that wood chip and get him down there. He's not happy. There we go. Got him covered up. There we go. Now let me get some water from out of the rain barrels and put some water on there. Actually, I'm going to take some water out of the buckets over here off of the side of the house. Let me cover that up because I'm trying to keep rodents out. Get that top back on there. And I'm just going to water this in just like that. Or that way the roots get water. Any air pockets that might have been still there from when I tried to seep them in are forced out. And I'm going to keep an eye on the castor bean. They can get really long, really tall, and so we're going to see how they do. Hopefully they are strong enough that they're not going to die on me or the wind break them and kill them. So we're going to keep an eye on the castor. So I'm going to get these two little babies put back in a smaller container in the greenhouse and let them grow on until I can figure out what they are. So that is it for me today, everybody. That is all I'm planting in the garden. I need to run to the store and get some wood chip so I can finish off the projects in the toilets. And that is about it. I hope you all liked today's video, just me doing a little bit of chores. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, share the video. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you either in my kitchen or my food forest real soon. Bye for now.